What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. So what are we going to talk about in today's video? We're going to talk about this brand new Deck of Fate event that just dropped in game. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over what's involved, what's it going to take to finish it, and whether it's actually worth it for you guys. So let's jump right into it. All right, guys. So happy Monday. Happy Explorer Deck of Fate. So this thing just dropped. I was kind of disappointed that it's a Deck of Fate that kind of revolves around artifacts and not getting a new champion, for example. But it is what it is. It's kind of like it would have been a new champion in my opinion, but artifacts is, I guess, a second place. I didn't expect the soul here for sure. But anyways, we got the Explorer Deck of Fate, and it's going to be from artifacts, upgrading artifacts, so artifact enhancement, and dungeon diving. So it's an interesting combination. We never had this in the past before. I'm going to bring up some old samples for you guys, and we can look over that to compare. But yeah, so we got 40 cards here, pretty standard, 1,000 of these rocks, I guess, fate fossils per card, so 40,000 for the whole deck. So looking over here, what's up for grabs? We got Slayer gear. It's actually really nice because it's full Slayer gear. So it's fully Slayer gear. That's one set. There's lots of pieces here, accessories and gear. But it only looks like there's only top row gear, no bottom row gear. In my opinion, that's kind of good because maybe top row guarantees you get something usable as opposed to bottom row less likely to get usable pieces. But I think if you're a spender and you already bought the Forge Pass, you have lots of crafts already, you're probably looking for bottom row pieces as opposed to top row pieces because you'll get more top row pieces. So maybe this selection of gear might not be as appealing to you. Some 4-star glyphs, which are kind of whatever, to be honest. They're not really like, if these were 6-star glyphs, like that's a big deal, but 4-star glyphs kind of nothing. 5-star ores, these are, you know, whatever. Rare book, that's nothing. You guys can go for that. Epic book, pretty standard. Ancient shard, void shard, that's nice to see. A legendary book, also nice to see. And 5 of these dust powders. Keep in mind, I believe the average is 8 of these powders per 1,000 energy. So 5 is quite a bit, a couple hundred energy there. And yeah, legendary book and void shard, love to see it. But yeah, that's, I mean, it's pretty good. Slayer set's an incredible set. You know, it's good in lots of areas. Lots of champions can make use of it. I recently just made my first Slayer champion thanks to the help of these accessories, to be honest. And yeah, works great. So definitely interested in this stuff. As a quick note here, 15 common cards, 15 rare cards, and 10 epic cards. Just noticing the distribution between the 15 and 15, it seems that that's kind of good. Usually there's way more common cards than rare cards, for example, and then there's going to be less epic cards as well. So it looks like the differential here is closer, or at least more parity. Let's compare this against the most recent Deck of Fate from the past that had artifact enhancement in it. All right, guys, so you see my lovely screenshot here from the past. So this was the Deck of Fate from about 7 months ago. It had the artifact enhancement, same kind of parameters in this event, except it was training plus artifact enhancement. So the current one is training, the current one is enhancement plus dungeon diving. So it's a little bit different, of course, but you can kind of see the breakdown here. So in the past, it was 18 common cards, 13 rare cards, and 9 epic cards. So the current one has a better spread of more quality cards, I guess. There's more quality cards as opposed to more common cards. So that's good to see. You can also see by the rewards, the current Deck of Fate seems to be much stronger, because we do have, for example, the Void Shard, for example. Hold on. We have the Void Shard, we have the Legendary Book, we have the 5 Dust. This one we have 6-star glyphs. So we have 6-star glyphs here. It looks like how many mythicals? 6 mythicals versus 6 mythicals. Yeah, the same amount of mythicals. And these web points could be worth a lot. 150 is a pretty big bunch, right? So just a quick look here. You can compare against the previous deck. So personally, I think the current Slayers deck looks a little bit juicier. So just my opinion there. These ones, very, very hard to hit the triple epics. Obviously, you get some juicy stuff happening there. We'll check out the old one. So the old one is like this. It looks the same. Yes, it looks exactly. No, actually, the current one replaces the Sacred Shard with the Primal Shard. So they took away the Sacred Shard and they gave us a Primal Shard instead. In the past, it looked like the Primal Shard was in the 3 rares, but they seemingly bumped up the value of the Primal Shard. Oh, I guess they subbed out the Primal Shard for the Void Shard here. But they definitely took away the Sacred. That feels kind of bad. Everything else stays the same. Yeah. That's the only difference. They just subbed out the Primal and the Sacred for the Void and the Primal. So, but anyways, these are really hard to get. Yeah, these are really hard to get. So I don't really bank on these. If you get lucky with these, that's really good. So congratulations on that. So here's a breakdown on getting the accessories and doing the dungeon diving. So again, I do have a comparison here to the past one. So you can see here, I'm just going to, you can see here, training doesn't matter, right? So you can see here the points for the artifact enhancement definitely got cut big time. 20% cut, 20% cut from, you know, the level 4. Yeah, it looks like 25% cut level 8, 20% cut. Are these, wait, sorry, am I messing this up? 4. Yeah, 25% cut. And then 20% cut, and then the final one is about a 22% cut. So basically we're losing efficiency on getting these fossil tokens compared to the past. So basically the cost have increased between 20 and 25% for your upgrades here. All right, so what does that work out to, guys? So if you guys have a bunch of level 0 gear, we're gonna do 4 plus 12 plus 80. So that's what you get going to 12, and then the 16 upgrade is that. So you got a total of 506 if you upgrade from level 0 to 16. We're looking at 40,000 points for the entire deck. So for you to finish the entire deck, you are looking at 79 0 to 16 items, which probably costs you, we'll say, 2 million. We'll say 2 million. So about 160 million silver to complete this event. Obviously, like I said, it's about a 20 to 25% silver increase from the previous deck of fate in terms of overall silver cost. So, you know, we were saying how the rewards are better, or at least in my opinion, they're better. The set is better. The rewards are seemingly better. You know, that's kind of what you're paying for here for this 20% increase. So what about doing it by energy, you say? So let's do this by energy here. So generally I've rate kind of conservative between 5-star epic and 6-star rare. So 6-star rare is 36 and then 5-star epic is 29. So I usually take somewhere in the middle, so about, let's say, 33 points. That's pretty conservative, and this is based off of hard 10 difficulty. For other difficulties, there must be a better efficiency. For example, I would probably assume that level 20 probably gives you better efficiency than doing hard 10, similar to how dungeon divers or tournament events are. So for example, like dungeon 20, you're probably expecting between 5-star rare and 5-star epic. So probably like 28 points, but then you're also paying only 16 energy. as opposed to hard 10, which you're getting about 33 points and you're paying 20 energy. So quick math there, you're paying 20, so 29. Let's say you're playing 29 points over 16 energy, so you're getting 1.81 point per energy. And then let's say you're doing 33 over 20 and you're getting 1.65 points per energy for hard 10. So just off of quick math in my head, I would assume doing lower difficulties such as dungeon 20, for example, should give you a little bit more fossils per energy spent. With that being said, I will do my math comparison with hard 10 in mind. So if you want to do this strictly from energy, you have 40,000 points to achieve everything. You have to get 33. That's how many runs you need to take. And you multiply by 20, of course. So you're looking at about 24,000 energy required to complete 40,000 points. So basically the whole deck, if you were to do this entirely with dungeon diving. So clearly to me, it looks like artifact enhancement is probably the easier way to do this. I mean, it looks very obvious that spending to upgrade your artifacts is probably the easiest way to do this. But you can definitely mix in some dungeon diving to alleviate some silver costs. I mean, 160 million-ish is pretty expensive, obviously, and I kind of only made it 2 million to go from 0 to 16. Sometimes you go like 2.5 million, even if you're doing accessories, for example, maybe even more. So, you know, definitely there's going to be some range there. You guys got to be careful with that, of course. But obviously, not a lot of people are going to be sitting around with 160 million silver or more in the bank. The thing is, you can farm dungeons and then grind silver at the same time. And this event is going on for 4 days. So there is time. There is time to do this. Even if you are, you know, obviously not sitting on that amount right now, you can kind of, you know, generate silver and then spend the silver at the same time. However, we do have a fusion coming up May 9th. So that's going to be in 10 days or so. So you do have to keep that in mind. Of course, like for fusions, you're looking at 3 artifact enhancement events for about 20 million each. But of course, that's over time. So you definitely don't want to go into those kind of fusions with no silver. So keep that in mind when you're trying to do this. But obviously, I think the gear is very good and very important for a lot of different builds. And as a free-to-play myself, since I don't pay for the Forge Pass, this is a huge boost to me in getting this gear. So for me, this is like a no-brainer to complete. I'm sitting on over 1 billion silver, so for me, it's a no-brainer to complete. But I mean, for most people, I don't expect most people to be able to fully complete this for all of this stuff. So over 4 days, I would expect some people just to treat this like an artifact enhancement event. You know, maybe do like 20 artifacts to 16, and then they'll have enough for maybe 10 flips, I would say, maybe 10 card flips. So you get a little bit here and there. Maybe you'll get lucky, you get the legendary book, the void shard. I think overall, this is a really nice event. This is a really good set, guys. If you guys are interested in thinking about or taking a look at what the set does, just drop in here. You can craft it. Obviously, came from the most recent Forge Pass, and this is my only champion in Slayer gear right now, my Eric's. So here is the Slayer gear bonus. So you get crit rate, crit damage, speed, and then you get the turn meter fill for each enemy hit by AoEs. Crit rate again. Ignore defense. This is very nice. If you're using AoE skills, and then crit damage, speed, and then chance to repeat damage by this AoE skill. Very, very good for boosting damage on your AoE damage dealers. Yeah, I mean, it's a great set. It's limited. And yeah, so I think it's a good overall event. It's a little bit expensive, but like I said, you're paying for the better rewards, to be honest. The rewards I think are substantially better. The set is better than the past. You know, 7 months ago, you're paying for, I guess, inflation. But yeah. And then dungeon diving, I mean, it's something that you do anyways. So it's something that you can kind of incorporate, you know, take off a little bit of the overall cost a little bit. And you're farming and you're generating silver as well. So I think for most people, this would be a pretty good event. And definitely worth going for. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video and my analysis on this deck of fate or adventures deck or whatever. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys are planning to do. I think this is going to be a good event for most people. It's a relevant set. It's got some decent rewards. You can definitely high roll into the book, void shard, or the big points here. I like that it's one big one as opposed to like a bunch of small ones, I guess. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was helpful for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.